Yeah. You unscrew this pipe here, and you actually have to go and unscrew it up there from the outlet from the cylinder. There are two of those bolts, and you will have to take this one away also, if you have one, that is. It's easy to remove it. And you remove this exhaust gas tube or pipe from the cylinder head. It's not so difficult as you might think. And then but when you have done that, you can more easily reach these things. Yeah, you can remove, if you unscrew these 3 screws, you can remove these engine holding bar totally from the car. You remove it, it's gone. And these things are also gone, and this thing here is also gone. Then this, it's a more thin, what do you call it? Yeah, it's a thin plate of metal that is probably a heat protection. I think you can remove that. I don't remember. Ah, yeah, it's sitting here with a bolt. It's sitting together there with this big bolt. And the same on the left side here, of course. There is the bolt. And these bigger screws here, they will be 17 or 16. Sometimes it's like a 16 skull and the nut is 17. It's a little bit weird. Anyway, so this thin plate is not an issue at all. It will be easy to remove. And when you have removed the silencer and these straps, then these holding things that hold the silencer will follow together with the engine block connector thing. I don't know what to call it. It's a piece of steel here which connects directly to the engine block, and which in turn the other things are connected to. So, but when you have removed the exhaust and the engine bar holding thing, and this plate, you will be able to reach the bolts that connect this engine holding thing. And actually these strap things here, they can come off with that. You don't have to unscrew them. And a few of the bolts go in from this way, from the rear, and some bolt, I think, went in from the other way. Yes. Sorry. I don't know if this is gonna be upside down now, but on the inside, under the engine, yeah, this is how it looks like. There, the engine holding bar will separate from these rubber thing, because that is together with this black thing, which is the engine holding block, whatever. And that comes off together. But here, as you can see, there are bolts that connects to the engine holding bar from the other side. But that doesn't actually matter. You see them there. They are, I think they're 16 and 17 millimeters. Anyway, so when you have removed that, I don't think I have forgotten anything now. This plate and that one. Then with a little bit of mild force, you will be able to take all this. You will be able to take this black thing away, and then all the engine will lie open and clear for you. You will find the oil pump gears are behind here and behind a plate. Where's my hand? Oh, there it is. Because you can't reach that without taking away all these things. And yeah, that's a bad thing about these engines, that the oil pump is so well hidden. Because if that leaks, then you have to open that plate also. It has four small nuts that holds it. It's inside here. I don't think I can even see it. No, it's somewhere in here. And anyway, let's move over to the other side. Yeah, So when you have taken that stuff away, it will be way easier to reach the oil cooler and to bend it properly away so much with a little bit of mild force in order to take it completely off from the engine block. And those rubber hoses there, they will be a pain in the ass to deal with. But when you have taken this whole system away here, then it will be much, much easier to reach them. And there will leak some coolant out, and I wasn't able to stop it. I didn't have the proper plugs to plug those stupid rubber hoses. So I just let it leak, and I had to fill in the water again in the engine after the job was done. And actually I didn't even have to bleed the system because it kind of bled itself, so to speak. But yeah, that's what you have to do to replace the oil cooler, which is here. And you should of course replace it with a new one. You should not waste time and energy and your work effort to replace it with a second-hand one. Forget that. Always use new parts if it's important critical parts. Let's say the fuel pump or water pumps. Never use second-hand parts. There is no reason to do so. So you will be able to change that thing and put it back together. There was some kind of seal in there. I don't remember if it was an O-ring or some other kind of seal. I should remember that, but I don't. Anyway, it will come with a new oil cooler. So you won't have to think too much about that. And of course you mount a new oil filter when you put it all together. Now, let's go back for the final time to this stupid oil hose. I think a hose is made of rubber. Correct me if I'm wrong. You have to bear with my English because I'm from Sweden. I'm not a native English speaker. So, we are back here now. And when you have dismounted all these stupid metal things that are in the way, you will easily be able to unscrew that inner screw. That one there. And you will be able to wriggle off this pipe. Then you need to clean the surfaces very well to make them very flat and smooth and even. And when you have done that, you can reassemble it. But as you can see, there is some kind of goo or glue that I have applied. And it is an American product, if I'm not mistaken. Here it is. I bought it after getting some consultation online. Permatex gasket cement. Aviation Forma gasket. And what can I say? It was, how much was this one? 10 bucks, 10 euros, 100 crowns, something like that. I applied it on the surfaces and actually on the bolts, as you can see. And I screwed it back together, and it has been several months and it's still tight. No leak whatsoever. That thing there, it's actually sealant that has dried. So yeah, that's it. Yeah. Not much more to say about this. These were my 2 leaks, so that's the 2 leaks that I fixed. And of course, when you start putting it all together, you do everything exactly in the reverse order as you did when you took it apart. And the critical point, I would say, is of course this: to clean the surfaces here very well and to apply enough, but not too much, of course, of this glue sealant thing. And then you need to tighten these 2 bolts enough, but not too much, or you will crack the bolts, and you don't want that, because then you will have a hell if they snap those bolts. You will have to remove the whole engine and bore out the screws, and it probably is going to take some workshop to do that, and it's going to cost you a lot time, effort, and money. So don't snap those 2 bolts. Yeah, that's what you do, and then you reassemble it all in the reverse order. So, coming out. Yeah, let me see if there was something more